for joining us today. If this is your very first time watching one of my videos, my name is Candice Dorman of CandiceDorman.com. I am a wife, a mom, and entrepreneur, and I'm also a business coach and video producer. And today I have one of my favorite clients, Tiffany French, who is a local real estate agent in my area. I wanted her to come on and talk a little bit about her business and how she is using the webinar that we work together on to help market her business. So Tiffany, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your business as a real estate agent?
Hi. So as Candice said, I'm Tiffany French. I am licensed in New York and Connecticut. I serve mostly Westchester County and the Bronx in New York, and in Connecticut, I've been focusing more on New Haven County through Fairfield County, kind of going in the direction of New York. I specialize mostly in residential real estate. I really feel like real estate is a community building tool, and I like to help my clients figure out like how they can get into their biggest purchase and really make that asset work for them.
I love it. I love it. That's so key. Sometimes people think that real estate is just houses, but you walk around, you go, everything is real estate.
Yeah.
So Tiffany, can you tell me what brought you to me earlier this year when I think it was maybe February when you reached out to me? What is it that you were looking for?
I needed help with a webinar. I was trying to do a first-time home buyers seminar, and I wasn't quite sure how to approach it. I knew that what I was expected to do was a little bit. I knew what I was expected to do wasn't to the level of what I wanted to do. So I reached out to Candice to see if she could help me like up the production value of my seminar and let me know what I might have been missing.
That's great. I was so excited when you reached out to me because I love creating like long form content like that, where you get to, in many cases, tell a story. Although in a webinar format, it's really like explaining something. Yours was a first time home buyer seminar. So I was really excited when you reached out. One of the things that we talked about was your branding. That's how we started with your webinar. Can you tell me a little bit about how the webinar ended up looking and what made you love it?
You're right. I think that when I first approached you, I didn't exactly know what I needed. I did want some branding to help me add to my seminar. And then it actually, like talking to you, it evolved into this bigger webinar and it looked gorgeous. I was so happy with how it turned out. I got so many compliments about the colors and just the value of what I was putting out there.
I love it. I love it. So that makes me think that sometimes we come with like an idea of what we want or what we think we need. But when we fleshed it out a little bit more, in order to increase the production value of your webinar, we really needed to identify what your brand look was going to be, so we'd have something to put on top of the webinar. Yes. And so that's where we created basically a marketing toolkit for you, right? We did a logo for you. I remember the amount of iterations we did on your fancy lettering, right?
Yeah, to get it right.
Just to get it right. And I love that because it isn't right until it's right. And, given that they're fonts, right? I'm not a fine artist who's actually drawing these things for you. So fonts are a dime a dozen and everyone has fonts, but we had to make sure that even though this was something that someone else could use, it still looked like Tiffany, right? Like that it was specific for Tiffany. I love it.
Thank you.
So can you talk to me a little bit about what the discovery process felt like for you as you were realizing that you started at one place, but we were going to take a few extra steps to get you to this other place that you weren't sure yet about, but ended up loving in the end?
So lots of questions that I just did not anticipate. Candice really made sure that she asked me very specific things and not just about like the design and coloring. I think like she kind of looked through my social media and my Facebook posts and kind of got a good feel of like my aesthetic, but also just like questions about my business, some of my goals, um, and like how do I want to integrate New York with Connecticut, those kinds of questions, and just a lot of other questions that I just did not even think about, and actually helped me to get a better idea of what I actually wanted to include in my webinar and how I want to present myself online.
I love it. And how has that webinar been serving you so far since then?
I did get some referrals from the webinar. I've been able to use the shorter version of it when people say like, "Hey, I want to get started in the process. I'm just coming in. I'm not quite ready yet." So I sent the video, or if someone says they have a friend that they would like to refer to me, I've been able to send the link to them for that also.
I love that. That's so key, because sometimes people come to you or they find you, right? They find you on Instagram or they find you online and they don't quite know you yet. And purchasing a house is a big deal. And so to think that someone would just find you today and then sign up to like make their biggest purchase with you the next day, it's really nice to have this in between, this like intro product that you can share with someone that says, this is who I am, this is what my style is like, this is what my face looks like, my voice, my tone and tenor. So if this is something that after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes of spending time with me in the comfort of your own home, right, watching this video, then definitely we can probably spend the next couple months together working towards finding you a new home, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a nice go-between.
Yes, exactly.
And then let's talk about the other pieces of your the marketing toolkit that we created for you. Testimonials, quotes. There was one for quotes. You could use it for just real estate quotes.
Yes.
Just closed, just listed, just sold, something like that.
Yes.
Really cool. And I just saw you use one of them yesterday. So I made them for you with stills. And I should preface by saying that this marketing kit that I create is a set of templates that goes through Canva. And so I create the template for you and then show you how to use Canva so that you are empowered to go in. You don't have to call me every single time you need something, right? This is a base. If you need something more, if you want to upgrade in some kind of way or create a new campaign, you can always reach out to me. But in the meantime, you are empowered to go right into Canva, which is a free cloud-based tool, and edit these things to your heart's content. And so that just brings me to the other day, I saw you put a video on one, which I was like, yes.
I did. It was actually, it's so easy to learn Canva. Like you just have to have a little bit of patience and sit there and move some things around and click some buttons. But I really like the way that you set up the templates. I don't really have to change the colors of anything. I don't really have to change too many fonts. And I'm just like sticking a photo in or sticking the video in. And you taught me how to use it. So I don't have to call you at midnight when I'm doing most of my work or 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm just able to play around with it until I get it right.
Yeah. And I think that I sent you, I have some pre-recorded videos showing you how to use these things. So we talked about it when we created it. And then I also have a archive of videos that kind of goes through how to sign up for Canva or how to edit your templates or those kinds of things. So I never leave you hanging. Plus I go to sleep at 9 o'clock. So I can't help you at 1 o'clock when you're working on this. I love it. I love it. Can you speak to the importance of creating a brand as a real estate agent and perhaps not simply relying on the brand of your brokerage, especially if you're with a small brokerage?
Yes. So when you first started trying to describe, I think when you were first posting before we actually had our discovery call, I wasn't sure how I could use the branding or if it was important to what I was doing or not, because my company does offer postcards and branding, but it's more towards the company. So for someone like me who actually works for 2 companies, a small brokerage and a larger brokerage in Connecticut, I don't really have anything that seems like that markets just me as a person, me as an agent, why clients would come to me, and just something that they would recognize no matter whether I'm no matter if I am marketing a New York property or a Connecticut property, or something I sold in New York or Connecticut, to make it all look the same and be seamless as Tiffany M. French, realtor. So I think that was the key part to like make myself, my business more cohesive as me, rather than an agent for this company or another company.
That's so true. Sometimes you work for a well-known brokerage, right? A mid-sized to large brokerage, and of course they have a ton of marketing, whether that is provided free of charge or if it's like a package that you have to buy within the brokerage, right? But they have a set of information that brings you into their family, right? But you are still a person on your own. And what happens if you decide to leave that brokerage and go somewhere else? You still want to maintain a level of brand awareness about yourself as an individual, right? Like personal and professional brand is important to have both of those things really speak to you as a person so that you can be you no matter which brokerage you're with.
Right. And real estate agents bounce around sometimes. So depending on what different brokerages are offering, that suits the needs of their business at that time.
Mm-hmm. So in real estate, I know that real estate business is heavy on referrals, right? Like it's heavy on who you know and who they know, and that's typically how you get referrals, right? But sometimes that funnel of referrals, it can dry up, right? So can you talk to how important it is to be actively marketing yourself and what that looks like for you as you grow your business?
Yes, marketing is probably one of the most important things to a real estate agent, to a realtor, because you constantly need to have your name in front of people. Like you need to touch people 7, 10 times, because they might not be ready when they see your name the first time, and you want them to remember you 2 years down the line when they start again. So you constantly have to send things out, call people, send them messages, or keep posting so you appear in their timeline over and over again, just because everybody knows a realtor, but you also want to tell them what about yourself makes you stand out and what you're bringing to the table that's different from the 1,000 other agents that they know.
Absolutely. It's so important. It's so important. Okay. So Tiffany, thank you so much for taking time out to come and talk to me. It was a joy to kind of re-walk through our experience working together, creating your webinar and your general marketing toolkit. I am really appreciative of you using Emlin Group Productions for your marketing needs. And I can't wait to see what else you put out there, right? You're surprising even me, and I love it. I think your audience is going to really enjoy seeing how you have upped your game, your marketing game in the last several months. So I'm really proud of you. And thank you so much for choosing me to help you with your marketing.
Yes, thank you for providing me with such a beautiful product. I love it. I can use it in so many different ways. And each time I think of something new, I already have something in my brand kit that can help me achieve what I'm trying to put out there. So I really appreciate it. I think of a new way to use it every week.
I love it. I love it. So that is time saving, right? I love it. I'm so proud of you. So be sure to reach out when you need something else, and definitely tell your friends about us. Okay?
Definitely.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today during this conversation with Tiffany and I. If you have any questions about marketing or about video production and you're thinking about taking your marketing to the next level, definitely reach out to me. I can be found on most social platforms as Candice Dorman or as Emlin Group. Until then, I'll see you next time.